Today, let us see the basic and important configuration what we do in SAP in terms of FSO module. We'll see today. So, for any client, if you start working, let's say you got a job and you started working, so you should be aware what is the basic configuration, what are the global configuration we supposed to do. So, as FI module is closely integrated to the other modules. That is the reason first as and when there is a requirement and in a project level also real time, first we need to complete our configuration in a FI side, FI module side. Then a system is available for the other modules to integrate and further process move on. And coming to the external reports like P&L account and the balance sheet accounts, which will be created out of a FI module. So it has a very importance and what all the components we define in a FI module. Further processes like when you are doing a general ledger accounting, when you are doing accounts payable, receivable, asset accounting, what are the other sub modules also if you're doing working, everything is tightly integrated to the FI module. And if you come little down to it, it will be integrated with the general ledger accounting because FI module purely with your P&L and the balance sheet account, which are external reports. So there you see obviously the GL accounts only. You don't see any ledger like a vendor or a customer or a material or a asset. all, all these things are the subledgers, and these are highly integrated to the general ledger account, which is a GL account, and they are obviously part of your P&L or a balance sheet account. Okay, so if we move on in any interview, if you start giving it, they'll ask you, have you worked on any implementation, right? So you obviously say, or you have to say like, yes, you have worked already, right? So how you learn this is by going a step by step and defining. It didn't have any brainer. Okay, you have to think in a real time. If you are doing this configuration, uh, what are the data you collect from the client and how you convey the client? What is this configuration about, and what is the use of doing this configuration, and what is the impact of it? So based on a business requirement, you will do a configuration, that is a blueprint you prepare, a configuration of document you prepare, all the other documents you prepare, and you do the configuration. That is fine. But while connecting with the business to gather the requirement, you should be very clear enough with these configuration steps. Okay, why it why it is like when you are thorough with this configuration step, then you have a confidence to explain the same to the customer also will understand rightly, and based on your confidence levels, he'll think yes, it is going in a right direction, and they'll give their requirement, and the discussion will be in a clear manner so that the inputs collection everything will be in a right manner so that we don't see any further issues. Okay, so rightly, the minute any client purchases SAP application, they cannot use. Okay, to implement it, there will be a 4 months or a 6 months based on the module, how many modules they are activating, what is their roadmap in implementation. It depends on how much time we need to take, and how you develop and give it to the customer, which is a go live. Okay, so let's say if our implementation project is 4 months, okay, so we'll not consider 4 months for a implementation alone. Okay, let's say out of 4 months, let's say we'll consider 30 days, 30 working days. I mean, okay, 30 working days in every month. 20 working days will be there. Let's say 30 days working days we consider for a implementation. So once we do a implementation, parallelly we'll do a unit testing or a component testing, and make sure our testing is perfect based on the configuration. The results are working fine. So in between, testing team will be there, separated, dedicated testing team will be there. They'll connect with you. They'll ask you to explain the scenarios. What are you developing? What is the test cases? You need to help them to get the test scripts done. They'll prepare. Once you're done with your 30 days of development, there will be a testing phase will start, and that we call it as a SIT, system integration testing. Okay, there they'll thoroughly test based on the test scripts we have given. If at all any issues, they'll come back to us, we'll clarify. And if some configuration is missing, really we'll reconfigure and we'll do our testing and we'll move the changes to the quality system. Then let us think testing is also done, and maybe they have a time slot of 10 days. They have completed their testing also. After that, we have a UAT phase where business will do a testing. Yeah, business also does the testing, and they also fine with the test results, and we are good to move the transport to the production system, which is a go live date on a certain. After 4 months, what will be our go live date? By then, all the transports will be moved to the production system, and upon that day, business will stop using the legacy system, and they'll use the SAP system per se. So this is overall, nutshell and the brief we can take it. Okay, but let us see what are the basic configurations or a global configuration we do in FI module. Okay, before I get into it, I just want to tell you you should be already aware of system landscape. Okay, in IT, if you take any software application, you have to have a three-tier landscape, system landscape. You should have one development system, you should have one quality system, and you should have a separate production system. Okay, these three clients are a individual ones, and the development has to be done in a development. After the changes has to move to the quality. Then if the quality testing everything is passed, then we'll move the transport to the production system. In production system, business users or end users, they'll start using the business functionality, and they'll capture their business daily operations into the SAP system. That is how it goes. So here I've listed what are the main steps we need to configure. While configuring the each and every step, we definitely see, we definitely understand uh, in nutshell what is step by step, why do we need to define this, and what is the impact of it. And keep in mind when you are working in a real time in FI module, any concern or any issue, anything, any business discussion, everything comes along with these steps what we are defining now. There will be a interconnection to any of this step. Okay, the discussion, whatever concern, whatever issue, whatever maybe comes, it's a part of the steps what we are defining today. We call it as a basic settings or a global configuration, whatever. Yeah, it will be a connection with the steps only. Okay, so let me go to the system and let us define one by one. Okay, okay, where is it? So whether it could be SAP ECC or SAP S4HANA, now I am in SAP S4HANA on premises 1909. Okay, so if you are working in SAP ECC also, the same configuration you do, but there are few extra steps or mandatory steps which we do in SAP S4HANA. Yeah, that is only the difference. Okay, okay, I've just logged in. Okay, let us go to the SPO. So first we need to define an enterprise structure. Okay, structure. In interview also they'll first start with what is the FI organization structure, they'll ask. Okay, this is a basic common question, and yes, we should be knowing it. What is the structure we are defining? If you're building anything also, you have a structure. Structure in the sense step by step. What is the first step? What is the second step? And what is the third step? Like that. In SAP FI module, the structure wise, you first have to understand in which client you are working. Okay, let's see now here. The client we are working is 100. See, 100 is purely defined for a development system. Let's say in a real time, this is the test system I'm using. I'm only having a client 100, which is my development system. Okay, in real time, you minimum have a three clients. One is for a development, let's say 100, and maybe once you log in, you might have one more logon pad here. If you see here in a login pad, I only see one ID, system ID, A4H. Okay, if it is a real system, then you see one more line in a down, A4Q. there might be one more line, A4P production. Let's say, let us think. The minute you click based on your choice, quality or production or development, you see a different client number here. Okay, or else you want to keep all your three systems in a client one, you still can do it, but only the differentiator to the system in which system you're working is based on your system ID. System will ID will tell you in which system you were working. Client could be same, but the no system ID will tell you in which system you were working. Okay, so this is a basic to understand. Then yeah, enterprise structure, we have a client. Then what we define the finance module in a definition. What we define a company. Okay, and after that, companies to have your consolidation purpose. Technically, this is a group or a company, you call it as. Okay, so none of the business transactions are reported at the company level. Okay, only transaction will be reported and recorded at the company code level. Company code is a legal entity. Okay, when we talk about a company, what does it mean by company? Let's say you just name it Tata Motors. Okay, Tata Motors is a company. If the Tata Motors is exists in India, okay, so it means that the company's headquarter is India, and in India, what all the transactions Tata Motors are doing, those entries will be posted against a legal entity in India, not on a Tata Motors company. Company is only to have a consolidation purpose, group reporting purpose to see the result. Okay, but you have to have one more legal entity which is created as a company code in India. In that company code, the transaction will be recorded, not on the company. Okay, uh, the base location, if the company is belongs to India, in India the company will be having and company code also having. Let us take let us talk about SAP only. SAP has started in Germany. Okay, if SAP is doing their financials, SAP company, they have their own company in Germany. That is a company. But in Germany, what are the operations they are doing? They are selling, they are taking orders, they are delivering, they are making payments. All their business transactions they'll not post in Germany company. They have to have a for Germany the company code they'll be having, and there they'll post the business operations of Germany. So that is how it will work. Let us see. The client is the first one in enterprise structure. Then you have a defined company we have to define, and then we have to define a company code. Okay. After after to it, you have a business area to define. You have a functional area. There are few other parameters when and there if it is needed. If you don't know also, you just go to the documentation here. It will be written. You just read through it, and based on your requirement, you can define, you can assign, and you can move forward. Yeah, it's not a big deal. But when there is a need, you should have a knowledge to understand where I can get this information in SAP. I just have to read through it, and you just have to configure it. That's all you have to do. Okay, so you will define a company code you will define, and you need to define your chart of accounts, and you need to define your accounting groups. You need to define your physical year. All these are the parameters or operation steps you have in a configuration side FI module. If they ask you the FI organization structure, these are the elements you have to tell in a order. Okay, so let us define a company. Okay, so already I have 38 companies defined in real time. If it is a real client, you might have companies. Let's say if the client is are doing different kind of business. Let's say he is doing IT services, he is doing a construction, and also he's doing some professional services. Let's say. Okay, so out of three business segments, he want to operate everything in one company, one umbrella. He still can be do it. Otherwise, he want to have a separate company to be have, and they want to see consolidation. They can create a three companies. Okay, but as this is a test system, you see a couple of companies. Okay, in real time, no, the client for whom you are working, it is for their purpose only that application will be used, and you will see a minimum data. Okay, so as we need to create a new entries, as we need to create a new company, company, this is a no data element. If you define whatever element here, From later onwards, system will read this as a company. Okay. So company name length can be put 6 digits alphanumeric combination. Alphanumeric in a sense you can have a alphabets and a combination of 1 2 3. Okay, that is up to the client decision, but we have to tell him, hey, it will only allows you 6 digits. How you want to no, name it, that is up to your decision. Let's say they'll give the requirement. Let's say we are working for some pharma company, Cipla we are working. So our company is Cipla. Okay. Let us say they ask us to create CIP1 as the company name. CIP123. Let us try. Pharma. Okay, some others we need to fill. Okay, anything, but in real time you make sure yeah, whatever configuration doing, whatever description we are doing, everything is from the client requirement. He'll give clearly what name is should be updated, where his corporate office is situated, and situated. That same address he'll give, the same address will give. For now we'll put some. Okay, we don't have any real thing. Okay, we can use 1 2 3 4 something I'm putting, which is not a genuine one. 4 5 6. In real time you have something real. Okay, city, let's say Bangalore, country India. Okay, language English. So what are the parameters you will select? And you have a button here. This is a drop down. If you select here, you can see how many languages SAP is supporting. Okay, now you see 44 languages. Yes, SAP will support you 44 languages. As this is a test system, in few of the configurations you might not see what are the standard values SAP is providing, because somebody might be overwritten here, they copied and they renamed, or somebody would have deleted, unfortunately something might happen. Okay, but when you get a chance to work on a real system, you can see configuration wise what are the standard configurations SAP is offering. That way you can clearly identify and check. Okay, so English, so currency obviously INR, you just save it. You just click and the same needs to be saved. Okay, why we need to save? As I told you before, the development will be done in a development system. Once you done with the development, the changes, what are the configuration we are doing, the same needs to be moved to the quality system for a testing. How the changes will move? Once we save in a development, then only you have an option to move it to the quality. How we save in a, how you save the data in SAP? In a SAP we save the data through the transport request. Okay, there are two types of transport requests. One is a customizing and one is a workbench request. As we are the functional consultants, most of our transport, our configurations will save in a customizing request. Okay, let's say I'm just trying to save it. See, system is trying to create a transport request. Let me name it. Hmm. Okay, Cipla basic. Okay, when you are doing some configuration, try to have the date when you are creating the configuration, so that you will have a track of it based on a description. That is the reason always prefer to have a date to be updated. You just click on, see, the transport number system has created by default, and it's a customizing request. You see the customizing request, and transport request number will be a 10 digit, and first three digits of a transport request will be your system ID. You see here the first three letters are A4H. If I see here in my launchpad, see my system ID is A4H. This is how the transport will be generated. In real time also, whatever system you were working, the same system, first three letters will be in a transport of your system ID. Okay, you just click on OK. See, the data was saved. Okay, what is the next step? We need to define what all the objects we are defining. Let us copy here so that we'll not no will not forget, and whenever needed we can easily access. Okay, I've just taken a notepad and I've written my company is SIP 123. Then what is the next step? I need to define a company. Company is done. Then I need to define a company code. Please be remember, company code is your legal entity. Legal entity in terms, if you register it as a legal entity, you make sure at the fiscal year end, if you're in India, it will be April to March. If you're in, let's say, US, January to December. In the local tax bodies, you need to submit your profit and loss account and the balance sheet. Out of your profit or loss, if you have any profit, based on that, you need to pay a tax to the governments, local governments. Let's say in India we pay the tax to the income tax department. Let's say if it is an US federal government, yeah, based on that we need to pay a tax. So which drives the P&L and the balance sheet statement, which is a company code. Company code is a legal entity. Okay, so you just click on edit company code. See here already 215 company codes are there in real time. Also based on your the client, if the client you working, if he has operations in most of the countries, okay, based on a country, each country will be having a one legal entity. In real time also it will be the 99.9% it will be the case. Okay, in every country there will be one legal entity preferably. Okay, so in this case we have 215. If the client is medium range client and he has a turnover based on his capability of a business doing, I have seen in my career 140, 170 was the last. Okay, it means he's doing a business in 170 countries. So that based on the requirement, client will tell you in implementation time, hey, I'm doing my business operations in this many countries. I need this many company codes or a legal entities needs to be created. Okay, accordingly we'll create. Now we need to create a new one. Let us click on new, and the company code will be a 4-digit alphanumeric value. It's a 4-digit. Before we define the company, there it was a 6 digits alphanumeric value. Here company code is a 4-digit alphanumeric value. In real time, if it is a US, we type as a US 90 or US 01. Okay, these are the real time names which will be used. Okay, as let us create a company code for India. Let's say IN90. Okay, you don't see it here because normally we should not get it. Somebody would have already created. Okay, that might be deleted and it is not visible now. But if we go with this, maybe later we'll get some issues. But try to go with IN90 only. In real time also, if you are creating a company code, preferably client will ask you to create like IN90. Let's say if it is for US, they'll ask you to create US 90. Let me also give IN90. Okay, so I'll name it as Cipla legal entity. Okay, city something test I'll do. Country 2 digit, it will be same. Currency, if it is India, INR. If you're creating a company code for other countries like a US, you can put USD. If you're creating any European countries, you can put Euro. Based on the country, what is the local currency there? That currency you need to assign for that particular legal entity. Okay, language English. If your client want to have any different language, you have to give the same language. I've created the details, and the additional address need to be created. You click on address, uh, same company name, supply India. Okay, how you want to search your company code out of, let's say, 240 or 210 company codes or 150 company codes you have later. How you want to search your Indian company code to get it? Okay, so I want to use Cipla India. Again same, I want to use. Okay, street where it is, I'll put some test only. Okay, because this is a test system. In real time, make sure you will have the right information from the client and he'll give. Don't take anything by your choice. Okay. Okay, country I'll put IN. Region I'll put something. As I've selected Bangalore, Karnataka, I'll put. Karnataka 10 is a region. Post box number also I'll give some. Based on a country, these parameters will be controlled. Whether you need to give 6 digits or 5 digits, how it will be based on the country specific settings. As we have selected IN India, the pin code length will be 6 digits. System by default it knows. As you see by default by selecting IN, you see the regions which are our different states will be populated. If you select here country US, then for country US, what are the postal code needs to be defined, and the regions in US, what all they have, they'll be visible here. And in real time, you'll have a phone number, extension number, fax, email address, everything they'll provide. You just have to fill it here and you just save it. Okay, you just click on save it. See, in a same transport request, the data is getting saved. You just click on save. Okay, done. Now, next, what is the step we need to do? We need to link your company and company code. Okay, you come out of definition, you now go to the assignment, financial accounting, assign company code to the company. You just click on it. So here you pull your company code, which is IN90. IN90. Okay. So what is your company? My company is CIP123. Okay. Here link is happening. See, I've just saved. Again, the data is saved in a transport. See, one company code can be assigned to one company only, not more than one company. One company code can only be assigned to one company. This relation we call it as a 1:1. But one company can be assigned to multiple company codes. Let's say this company code I have not created, IT01. But still I can assign this IT01 to my company code. Okay, there is no harm. Why? Because under one company, you can have a multiple company codes because your company will do operations in multiple countries. Okay, in each country you will have a one legal entity. The same you need to tag to your company. That is the logic. The company code to company will be 1:1, but company to company codes 1:n. One company can be assigned to multiple company codes. Thus, that relation we call it as a 1:n. We've just assigned our company code to company so that the link will build. Okay, data was saved already. Okay, go back. If you want to check, you just go back, position, select your company IN90. See, the company code is been assigned. Okay, done. What is the next step? With this, we are done with the basic structure. Okay. Later, what we have to define? We have to define our chart of account. Basically, in a chart of account, you have a combination of GL accounts. It basically talks about your financial reporting, how it will deals. Now, let us go to the general ledger accounting, master data, GL accounts, preparations, edit chart of accounts. So in real time, you will be having one operational chart of account which is used across your company. Okay, but as and when if you have any local requirements, you will have to have one your country specific chart of account. And inside a company, if all the legal entities are not uniformly following the same structure of GL accounts for PNL and balance sheet, in that case they'll have to use one more chart of account, which is a group chart of account. Normally there are three types of chart of accounts. One is operational chart of account, the second one is group chart of account, the other one is country specific chart of account. Okay, so normally you have in real time only one operational chart of account. Please make sure only you will have one operational chart of account. But when there is a need of having a group chart of account is when inside a company, the company codes, legal entities are not following the uniform GL accounts or a set of accounts for their PNL and balance sheet accounts. And also in some other countries there will be a local requirement to have, let's say if you're creating a balance sheet account like assets account, you should use 4 series only or a 5 series only. Some kind of requirement will be there. In that case, to fulfill, they'll have to have a country specific chart of account. So we'll create our chart of account now. As my company is C, CIPLA. So in real time the terminology will be, it's also a 4-digit alphanumeric value chart of account can be. So COPA, CIPLA operational chart of account, operational chart of account. Okay, CIPLA operational chart of accounts. C for CIPLA, O for operational, C for chart, and A for accounts. This is how real-time naming convention also clients mostly prefer to use it. Okay, let us write is CIPLA operational. Okay, so here we need to define a language. It will be English. Uh, the the decision is up to the client. Okay, I'm just taking it as a English, and the naming also everything, the conversion. Okay, I'll not repeat it again. What all I'm updating now, this is as for my understanding. Okay, but in real time you make sure this will be given by the client. Okay, GL account length can be given 10 digits up to. Okay, if your client asks you to give length of 11, you say, hey, in SAP standard SAP we have a capability up to 10 digits only, not more than that. SAP will not support. So in real time most of the clients will use 6, 7, 8 length will be. Okay, based on their volume of turnover, volume of GLs they want to create, they'll use, but most preferably 7, 8 I've seen. Okay, make it simple and to understand, we'll give a 4 now. Okay, so if everybody is following the same operation chart of account, there is no need of creating a group chart of accounts now. So if you keep it here blocked, right, so in this chart of account, system will not allow you to create any GL accounts further. How GL accounts further in a sense, for the same chart of account later will assign to the company code. Okay, there will be a link will happen. If you select here block code, later point in time when user tries to create a GL account under this chart of account assigned company code, system will not allow. But don't think this will not keep it blocked now as we need to use it and we are using it. Later, if somebody asks you to, hey, stop creating a GL accounts in a chart of account level, then you need to click this block button. Now this is not needed. Please make sure we have given a 4 digits GL number length. Okay, just save it. Okay, and write down here chart of account short form is COA. What is my CO? CA is my chart of account. Okay, next we need to assign a company code to chart of account. Okay, so what is my company code? It's IN90. Okay, chart of accounts COCA, right? See here, there is one more you can assign, which is a country chart of account if there is any need. Okay, save it. The data is saved. Okay, next we need to define accounting groups. Based on accounting groups, you will have your external reports like a P&L account and balance sheet account is generated all over. Let's say if you post any business transaction, whether expenses or asset procurement, payment, whatever the business transaction you put, there will be a impact of your P&L alone or P&L to balance sheet or alone balance sheet. There will be impact. Okay, based on the transaction you are posting. Everything has to be recorded in your P&L or a balance sheet account, the daily operations, right? So now we define a new entries. Make sure and please be remember the account groups are defined based on a chart of account level. And I forgot to tell you one thing before this step. Here, assignment wise, one company code can be assigned to one chart of account, which is an operational chart of account. You see, one company code can only be assigned to one operational chart of account. Okay, this relation we call it as 1:1, but one operational chart of account can be assigned to multiple company codes. That relation we call it as a 1:n. Okay, so let us define this. Okay, let us define accounting groups. Accounting groups will be defined based on your chart of account. What is my chart of account? COCA, and make sure you have to have 4 minimum accounting groups. Why you need 4 minimum accounting groups, sir? In P&L account, we have a two sides. One is expenses and one is a revenue or income. In a balance sheet side, we have one assets and we have one liabilities. So to have your external reportings done, you have to have a four accounting groups. So my first group will be asset. Okay, assets. So in real time, assets number range, most of the clients prefer to have a one series. Why they'll give each accounting group one series is when end users or a business users posting the daily operation, by seeing a one series GL account, they'll simply realize yes, one series is a assets related. If business gives a standalone two series for a liabilities, by seeing a two series GL account, they'll understand it's a liability. And by seeing a three series, if they've defined as a expenses, by seeing it, they'll simply understand expenses, three series. And likewise, if they give a four series for a revenue or a income, they'll understand four series for a revenue related. So that there will not be any confusion. That is the reason every client will prefer to give each and every group. Let's say each group will be a dedicated number range. As in my chart of account, I've given only length of 4 GL. My GL number length I've given 4 digits. However, I have a capability till 10, but I've only taken 4 digits as a consideration for this requirement. So that I want to go one series with the assets. So 1000, I need to give 1000. Why I need to give only 1000? I've defined in a chart of account, my GL length will be 4 digits only. So what is the end number? Obviously, it's a 1099. And the next group, LBTS, liabilities. Liabilities, my client asked me to create a two series. I'm creating two series, COCA, same chart of account, expenses. Okay, three series, my client asked me to give three series. In real time also, we'll give one series for assets, two series for liabilities, three series expenses, and for revenue, four series. Most of the times, this is how they'll ask us to define. COCA, this is revenue or income, four series, and 499. Okay, save it. Data is saved. Now go back. Define retained earnings account. What is retained earnings account is? Retained earnings account, you please be remember, this will also be defined against your chart of accounts. Okay. So retained earnings account is a balance sheet liabilities account. Please be remember, it's a balance sheet liabilities account which will be used to carry forward the net profit or a net loss during the fiscal year end to the balance sheet under liabilities owner's equity. That is the reason we need to define a retained earnings account. What is my chart of accounts COCA? So the indicator can be anything. Okay, in real time we'll put X. Let's say for a liabilities, what is the series I've given in the previous step? I've given 2000 to 2000 to 2999. In real time, to avoid the confusion, we'll give the liability series loss number as a retained earnings account. In this case, 299. So in interview, there might be a question. They'll ask you how many retained earnings can be defined. One is must. Okay, based on a client requirement, you can define uh, how max how many they want you to define. Those many you can define. Okay, I'm defining two retained earnings account. Okay, this retained earnings account, when you are creating a P&L related GL accounts, let's say expenses related or a revenue related GL account, that time you need to define these indicators, whether those accounts need to be considered which retained earnings, whether X or Y. If you have only one retained earnings defined, always it will be X only you will select. If you define more GL account, more retained earnings account, then accordingly based on a business decision, they can select. So here it is telling, hey, this account you are not created in a chart of account yet. Yes, we have not created it. We are just doing the configuration. You just click enter and save it. This is saved. Okay, done. This configuration is done. Next, we'll go to the other configuration steps. Next, we'll define the fiscal year. Okay, fiscal year variant, maintain the fiscal year variant. Okay, fiscal year variant is nothing but the fiscal year in your business or a client. What is his business he is doing? What is his fiscal year in a sense? 12 months of a period. What are his 12 months? Let's say in India, business will be operated in April to March. Let's say in US, they'll operate January to December. Okay. So in real time, let's say your client is basically he is from India. Then in this case, his priority fiscal year area would be April to March. But so he'll be doing different operations and different legal entities he is having in other countries. Then how that can be fulfilled and with the different fiscal year variants. Okay, so based on the local requirement, the local to achieve that reporting purpose in SAP, you can create a ledgers. Okay, parallel ledgers you can create for that particular parallel ledgers. You can assign to the particular company codes or legal entities, and accordingly, those local requirement fiscal years of 12 months, let's say January to December, you can create and you can assign to those particular company codes. So in SAP, you should be understood what are the standard fiscal year variants SAP is providing with the package. Okay, K3 in case of no April to March, SAP is already giving you K3. Okay, so here somebody has overwritten and they've changed this system, but in real time, K3 is used for April to March cases scenarios fiscal year. If you want to copy the same, you can copy as and you can rename and you can use. Okay, K4 is giving for January to December purposes. Okay, here everything is broken in a sense. Somebody has overwritten. So what we have to do is we have to define our own. Okay, so somebody has make this K3 and K4 as a calendar dependence. Here we define what are our 12 periods, what are our special periods. Special periods are usually will have a 4 special periods. Those will be used for your no, after closing your fiscal year. If any pending entries, any adjustment entries, any wrong entries, any audit findings or any correction entries which can be posted, they'll be used in special periods, but the impact of the special periods will be the closed last period of that particular fiscal year. Let's say 2020 fiscal year is already closed now. Okay, if so as an example, if something related to 2020 there was an audit has happened, they want to correct some posting. Okay, already the books are closed, the numbers are reported, everything tax is computed, right? So still they want to do it. What they can do it is they'll have a special period 14, 15, or 13 or a 16. What are there are 4 periods. They'll use any of the period for the adjustment, and that impact will be of a 12th period of a 2020 fiscal year. That is how it works in real time. Okay, so now, okay, for now let us create quickly. One is of US, one is of India. Let us define one fiscal year variant. Okay, so let me create a new. Okay, that is selected copy as, let us ignore it. Okay, one step go back, come again. New entries, the fiscal year variant object will be 2 digits of a alphanumeric. Let me try to give CF. Okay, so my fiscal year will be April to March. Okay, so if you select here calendar, however you type the description as April to March, if you select calendar, it will treat as January to December. You don't need to tell the system what is the period one in a January and what is the period in January to December. Okay, system by default, if you select the calendar year, system by default it knows January is a period one, February is a period two, and December is a period 12. So here that is not a calendar year, is not of a fiscal year, so we should not select this. I have a 12 periods and I have a 4 special periods. Okay, you just select, click on periods, new entries. Okay, type one. We'll quickly finish this. Period 1 31 days, and what is my period? January will be my 10th period. Okay, year shift -1. There is a formula for year shift. I'll tell quickly. Let me finish this. 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 28, 31, 30 days, 31 days, 30 days, July 31, that's 31, 30, 31 days, 30 days, and 31 days. Okay, this is February is my 11th period, this is 12th period, this is 1, this is second, third period, fourth period, fifth period, sixth period, seventh period, eighth, 9. Okay, here shift -1, -1. Yes. Okay. So here fourth period is April. Okay, for April in a calendar, April is my post period as a physical year in terms of India. Okay, that is the reason for fourth period I've selected as a 1. Likewise, for December I've selected 9. In a calendar year 2022, what are the post 3 period? Let's say January, February, and March. They are in calendar year 2022, but they are of 2021 physical year. That is the reason here I've given system year shift is -1. Okay, what does it mean is if you don't give it the year shift as a -1, system will think there's 3 periods of 2022 physical year. Okay, that is the reason we need to define here a year shift as a -1. For this, there is a formula. Okay, uh, the formula is fiscal year minus the calendar year. If you see here in April, the fiscal year is 2021 and the calendar year also 2021. 2021 minus 2021 is 0. But whereas for a January and February, March, here the fiscal year is still 2021, but the calendar year will be 2022. 2021 minus 2022 will be -1. That is the reason I've given a year shift as -1. Let us save it. Okay, it's saving. Let us update. Fiscal year variant. What is the variant? 1 second. Let us close the unnecessary ones. CF is my fiscal year variant. Okay, save it. Save it. Then the next step is we'll assign it CF. If you want to define a down, you can go and define a description. What is a period 1, period 2, and period 3. Okay, to save the time, I'm not giving. And come here, you click on new entries, and you can fill what is a period 1, Jan, February, March, like that. You can fill. Okay. In our case, April will be first period. That is the reason you select April 1, 2, like that, and you can complete. Then assign a company codes to the fiscal year variant. What is our company code? Our company code is IN90. Okay. So what is the fiscal year variant I've created? CF. Okay. Just add it, save it. Here also logic would be one fiscal year variant can be assigned to the similar company codes where they have a fiscal year of April to March. For those company codes, you can assign the same fiscal year, but one company code can be only assigned to the one fiscal year variant. That is the logic. Okay. So fiscal year variant to company codes 1 is to n, but company code to fiscal year variant 1 is to 1 relation. 1 to 1 mapping will be there. Okay, that is done. Next, we need to define a posting periods. Posting period is in the sense in a fiscal year variant, we have defined what are my 12 periods. Let's say April is period 1, uh, May is period 2. Likewise, we have defined what are my 12 periods. But coming to the posting period variance, out of 12 periods, we can control the periods open and close. Let's say, hey, you only open in real time. Obviously, if you are in a period 1, only period 1 will be open for a posting, not period 2, not the previous period. Only current period will be open. Let's say currently we are in a January. Okay, January in a sense 10th period of a Indian fiscal year logic too. Okay, but It means that what are the business operations, what are the business we are doing in India, those transactions only we have to report in a period 10, not in a period 11, not in a future period, not on a ninth period. Okay, if you record in a previous or a future period, that will be against the policy, and that is not the right way. How this can be achieved? If you strictly open only 10th period, whatever a user posting entries, he'll definitely post in a period 10. He cannot post in a 11 or he cannot post in a ninth. If you have a control, how that can be controlled? With the posting period variant, we control the fields. Okay, that is the reason we need to define a variant for a posting periods. So in real time, open and close periods and the period posting period variance, how many countries we are doing a business, those many company codes we have. For each and every company code will have a one separate posting period variant. You might ask why we need a separate posting period for each and every company code. Why? Because so you have a different periods, okay, set of fiscal year you have. However, if you don't have this logic, let's say out of let's say our client is having 130 company codes. Out of 130 company codes, let's say now somebody is asking, hey, I need to post some adjustment entry for a period 9. Okay, in that case, let's say they've asked for Indian company code. So if all 130 company codes, if you have one posting period variant, if we go and open ninth period, there is no control. It default opens for 130 company codes. Then there might be a risk that unknowingly or knowingly some other company code people also will post some entries in a closed ninth period. To avoid that, in real time, client will ask you to create a separate posting period variant for each and every company code, and he asks you to put the same name. Okay, to define the variant, posting period variant, what is there? Let's say I have a company code IN90. For a posting period variant also, I'll use the same name, IN90. Okay, let us define the new entries. So as I told, company code, how many company codes I have, those many variants will be created for a posting period variant. PPV IN90. PPV in a sense, posting period variant. Let us save it. Done. PPV IN90. Okay, done. Next, we'll assign this, assign variant to the company code. Okay. What is my company code? IN90. And variant also IN90. Assign it, save it. So if you look at here the logic, one company code can be assigned to one posting period variant. The relation is 1:1. But the same variant, if it is needed, can be assigned to multiple company codes. That is 1:n relation. But probably 1:1 relation clients will prefer to have to avoid the unnecessary period openings for other company codes. If at all we are using single, there might be definitely impact. That is the reason they'll prefer to have 1:1. Okay, one company code, one posting period variant they'll create. Okay, go back. Now we need to go to the open and close periods. Here, based on a posting period variant, what is my posting period variant? IN90. Okay, for IN90 we need to define a what period you want me to open now. I am telling system now, hey, I am doing a business in India. This is my legal entity IN90. For this, currently I'm in 10th period. You have to allow the user to post only period 10. That is the reason here the periods will be controlled based on account type. See, so in SAP language there are account types. A stands for assets, D stands for customer, K stands for vendors, M stands for material, S for GL accounts, and V for contracts. Okay, so if you don't want to have a individual account type wise, you just select plus. Plus applies for all account types. You tell here system which period you want to open. 10th period, obviously current period only will be open. Okay, which is the fiscal year 2021. Only a 10th period will be open. That is the reason from period and to period should be only the current period. Okay, and fiscal year also same. And this is a period 2. Period twos are the special periods. Let's say in a fiscal year wherein we have given 4 special periods. Those are 13 to 16, let's say. These are to adjust the no the adjustment postings of a previous closer fiscal year. As I am in a 2021 is my fiscal year, current fiscal year. What is my previous fiscal year? 2020. It means system will allow in 2020 fiscal year 13 and 16 period postings. Okay. Obviously 13, 16 postings will be impacted in 12th period of a 2020. That is the logic. If I maintain like this, okay, so if I change here 11 period, all account types for all account types the same logic will applies. Okay, but in real time to avoid a few reasons, they'll have the posting periods maintained based on account types also. Why, I'll tell you. Let me configure quickly. A to Z all accounts, same logic. I'll control Y, I'll copy, I'll paste it quickly. I'll select the other types. DK, yes, M. Okay, V is contract accounts. For that, from accountant to account is not needed. Okay, delete, delete. Okay, done. Save it. So you can think you may have a doubt. We have account type plus stands for all other account types. Why we again need to define each account type wise also? Because let's say if somebody we are in a 10th period currently. If some accountant or some business user came and ask you to, hey, I forgot to post one vendor related invoice, vendor in a sense account type K. Can you please open me period 9? So if senior accountant also and the business user also agrees to open a ninth period for a vendor type K. So if you don't have this control and only if you have a all account types maintained plus, what you will do, you will open here 9. Okay, 9 to current period obviously will be in a open state. It means if you have and if you save it, what will happen? If you think only plus is there, the other account types are not there. In this case, user will take a permission for a vendor invoice posting, but he still can post a GL, material, or a customer or asset. Anything he can post. If you have a control account type wise also, okay. So in this case, how that guy will open a period? That guy will open a period only at the vendor level only. Let's say K for a vendor invoice. Let's say he'll open like this. In that case, if he tries to post any other account types, let's say assets, he want to try any customer, he want to try any GL. If anything, he want to try, sir, system will allow you. System will not allow you to post the entry because you have account level control here. That is the reason they'll have a account type wise also control in a real time. So this is how it will be in a current position. If you see all account type, for all account types and each account type wise also we have opened only 10th period because we are in a 10th period as for the Indian fiscal year. Okay, just save it. Done. Okay, let's go back. This is done. Now we have a fields. Okay, fields in a sense, and when the user posts an entry in a system, there will be a debit and credit. He has to match and he has to post an entry. In each side, debit side and credit side, he has in total default 70 fields. Okay. So in out of 70 fields, there are few fields are not relevant fields. A few fields are optional. Few fields are mandatory fields to enter. So if we don't control fields based on a client requirement, when user tries to post an entry, it will be confusing for the end user or a business user. That is the reason client will always prefer to hold few fields based on the client requirement. So that what if few fields are required, okay. you make it as a required. If user tries to escape those field to fill also, let's say user is trying to escape those field to fill and he want to post the entry, system will not allow. Okay, that way we can control no to have the fields properly filled and properly the end user post the invoice. That control we can have with this fee status. Okay, here we define a fee status variant. Please be remember in real time across client in a sense Cipla is my client. Okay, for Cipla level we'll have only one fee status variant. The same will be assigned to the all other company codes so that there is a uniform. Okay, uniform will be followed, and if anybody is posting my client level, these fields are mandatory, user has to fill. These fields are optional, user can fill or can ignore. And few fields are not relevant, they cannot be displayed or they are be subclassed in a document entry screen. Okay, so the standard fee status variant 0001. Whenever we are defining this fee status variant, we copy the variant of a standard one 0001. Please be make sure in a real time also when you're working, you if you want to use any standard functionality in SAP, you just copy as and rename and use it. Don't edit or don't modify or don't delete the standard objects given by SAP. Make sure this is a very critical thing and you need to be adhere. Okay, just copy as. So my Cipla, right? Cipla field status variant. This is a 4-digit alphanumeric value. Whatever you want to put, you can put. Cipla field status variant FSV CFSV. I've named it. So somebody has already used it. As this is a test system, it has happened in real time. As for a client requirement, he can get it. Okay. So I'll name it FSVC. So in fee status variant, you have a different fee status groups. Okay. You just click on copy. 43 I've copied. This is FSVC. Just save it. Okay. So as I told, in a one fee status variant, in simple way, you have a different fee status groups. So these field status groups are used when we are creating a GL master records. We mandatorily need to select one field status variant in a GL master record, whether it could be asset, liabilities, expenses, or a revenue. Any GL account you create later point in time, there we need to select one of these field status group. Otherwise, system will not allow you to save the GL account creation. Okay, so if you go here and let's say I'm going in Z001, there are different selection groups. If you go here, you see assignment number. Let's say this is an optional entry field. Okay, it means that this field will be appeared while the user is posting an entry, but the filling or ignoring that field, information filling or ignoring that assignment number will be of a user choice. System will not stop him. If you make it as a required entry here, assignment number is a required. If you make it and if you save it for the GL account, for which GL account this field status group is assigned, for that GL account we cannot skip to update the assignment number. For that, this field will be required. Okay, that is how it will work. There is one more video in my blog. You can check on field status groups. You will understand more. So, what is the field status group we have defined? FSVC. Okay, let us see it from the FSVC. Okay, field status variant FSVC. Okay, okay, save it. This is already saved. Then assign company codes to the field status variant. In real time, I've told only one field status variant will be there. The same will be assigned to the all other company codes in a company. Okay, FSVC. Save it. Here the relation is one field status variant can be assigned to the multiple company codes. Relation 1:1. but one company code can only be assigned to one field status variant. Okay, this is the logic. 1:1, 1:n. Okay, this is done. Then we define a document types and number ranges. Okay, before that we define a tolerance groups. Okay, tolerance group, define tolerance groups for employees. Let's go to the new entries. Here for time being you leave the group as blank. Okay, but you define. Why? Because there will be why you need a group. In a sense, if we have any group created based on a end user role, we can assign that particular group to those user IDs in SAP, so that when user is particular user is trying to post an entry, system will controls based on the limit we have given. Why this tolerance group is needed is, if you give here a document level or a line item level, how much amount system should allow to post. If I don't give anything here, group blank, it means default in this company code, how much limit I am giving here, that much limit only will allow. In real time it will be 9999. Okay, maximum limit they'll keep. Okay, but based on a groups, there will be junior accountant. Junior accountant, I'll create some CJRA, something like that. I'll create that particular group. I'll assign to the junior accountant user ID, so that that particular junior accountant cannot post more than the value defined for that particular group. Okay, that is how it will work. I'll give a cash discount. I'll give a difference permittance. Okay, when there is a clearing, I'm giving some standard percentages. Okay, just save it. Done. Okay, now let us go back and see in a configuration what all we have done so far. Company defined. Okay, company code defined, assignment done, chart of accounts done, assignment done, accounting groups we have done, written earnings done, physical year variant done, company codes assignments done, posting period done, company codes assignment done, field status variant done, assignment done, tolerance groups just done. Next, classify GL account for a document splitting. This is in SAP S/4HANA, new GL is a mandatory. That is the reason we cannot skip this. We have to do this. Then only system allow you to post an entry. This will do now 16 step. Document types and number ranges we yet to do. Check global parameter. Yeah, we are almost done. We are only left with the 16th step and 17th step, and then we'll just check our global parameters. What are the parameters we have defined so far for company code IN90, and we'll create a GL account and we'll just post on one entry and we'll see our configuration. Okay, so quickly let me define a document number ranges. Document types to know differentiate various business transactions. Let's say in business we don't only post vendor related or a customer related or asset related. There will be different types of business transactions will be posted. Document types are used to differentiate. Let's say if you see here, document type SA is used for GL accountings. Okay, if you see KR is for vendor invoice. See, the KR is for vendor invoice. If you see one document with the document type KR, so that there is no confusion, we can understand it is a vendor invoice. If you see DR, it's a customer invoice. See, so these document types are standardly given by SAP. Okay, 99.9% clients will use the same document types. In few specific regions, they'll ask us to create a new document types. While we are creating new document types, we definitely copy from the standard any of the document type. Let's say if my client asks me to create a one document type which will be using general ledger accounting side, in that case what I'll do, I'll go to the SA document type. Okay, which is of a general ledger accounting, and I'll select this. I'll just copy as, and I'll rename it as for the client requirement. Whatever document type he suggests, I'll just do it. Okay, now after doing a configuration, we'll post a general ledger entry. So SA document will be picked default. For this, we need to define a number ranges. See, the number range sequence is 0, 1 we have. Just click on number range. You give your company code. Click on intervals. Number range sequence in a document type SA I have 01. Then I need to define for 01. Let's say I'll give 1000 to 1099, which means if I post a document, SA document, the first number will be 1000, second number will be 1001. Like that, the SA document numbers will be generated in a system. These things, if you select external while I'm posting a SA document type, I need to give manually the document number from this sequence. I don't want to give manually. Let the system get it. Okay, and the major impact and the most of the important thing is number ranges. SAP will not SAP will not prefer you to save the number ranges in a transport. Few times there will be a data inconsistency. That is the reason across the clients, let's say in development, quality, and a production, directly in all the environments, go directly in FBN1 and you maintain a number ranges. If at all your client still want to have these numbers also in a transport, you just select the number range row, click on transport, it will give you warning or information, and if still you say okay, this number range configuration also will save in a transport request. Okay, but mostly clients will not prefer. They'll just go ahead and direct update in all the landscape. Okay, number range is also done. Now let us go to the classify GL accounts, general ledger accounting. This is mandatory in SAP S4HANA. If you are using an SAP ECC and your client is not activating new GL account concept document splitting, this configuration is not needed. Just click on classify GL accounts. What is the chart of account we have created? This will be of a chart of account. COCA. Okay, click on new entries. Here, from accountant to account, whatever the way we defined accounting groups, similarly we need to define here. 1000 to 1099. I have defined for assets. 2000 to 2099. I have defined for liabilities. 3000 to 399. I have defined for expenses. 4000 to 4999. I have defined for revenue. The categories are the standard given ones. So if you see 1000 to 199, which is my assets, which is part of balance sheet, you select a balance sheet category. Again, this is balance sheet because liability is also part of balance sheet. Expenses is are part of expenses category, and revenues are part of revenue category. Just select, save it. Okay, we are done with the all the configuration. Now what we have to do is, in order to test our configuration, we need to create a GL accounts and we need to post one general ledger accounting entry, and we'll just verify. Before that, we'll just go to OBY6, and so far what all the configurations we have done, let us see for IN90 company code. This is a one place, OBY6, where we can see all the history or all the information, all the main information about the legal entity, which is a company code. Okay, let me open a new window. Okay, OBY6. See, this is a company code, global data. So IN90 I want to see. See, this is IN90, country India, currency INR, chart of account is COCA, the company belongs to CIP 123, and physical year variant is CF, and fee status variant is FSVC, and posting period variant is IN90. Likewise, you can see all the information here. Okay. So then next step is we need to post an entry. Let's say if you want to post an entry, you need to have a GL accounts created. Let's say, where is my, I want to post entry as a investment. Okay. So everybody will start their business with a investment. Let's say if you do an investment, what is the accounting entry? Cash account. Cash will be deposited. Okay. It will be debited. Let's say I'm putting 10 lakhs. Okay. So owner's equity, right? Equity will be credited of 10 lakhs rupees. Okay. Mm, Okay, 10 lakhs rupees. Okay, so cash. So to post this entry, I need to have a two GL account. One is a cash GL account I need to create. One owner's equity GL account I need to create. Okay, cash is of a asset. Owner's equity is a liabilities. So in two of the groups, I need to create a two GL account. In SAP, GL accounts can be created in three levels. One is a centrally, okay, through FS 00. The other one is COA level, chart of account level, FS P0, and the other one is company code level, which is FSS0. Okay. So if we create a centrally, default the same GL will be created at a chart of account and the company code level. If we don't want to create a centrally, you have to create first in a chart of account level, then the same needs to be extended to the company code. But if you don't create a GL in chart of account level, and if you try to create a first in a company code level, system will not allow you. Okay, let us create centrally now. We'll go to FS00. So company code is EAPC somebody's. Let me change my company code IN90. So it will ask as I'm creating a post GL account, it will not show me, but let me create 1000 my company code IN90. Okay, it has filled here, you see 1001 IN90 balance sheet. Okay, so my group is assets. I'll create first. This is a 1000 is accessory cash GL. This is a cash GL. Okay, now go to the control data. INR default based on a company code currency has come. See here I told you. So there should be one fee status variant. For the in a fee status variant we have a different fee status groups. If I don't give and if I try to save it, you see make an entry in a field fee status group. So that is a mandatory field. If you go to the drop down here, you see fee status variant FSVC. Why it has come FSVC? Because for this IN90 company code we have assigned FSVC fiscal posting period, sorry, fee status variant. Yeah, so for now I'll just select G001, one of the fee status variant, save it. Just a warning, just click on it. Okay, now we have created one GL account. Let us re-trigger the transaction so that T will be reflected back correctly. See, IN90 company code, asset side tree has come, and in asset we have one GL already created. Now let me create one more GL account under liabilities this time. So liabilities we are going to two series, liabilities balance sheet. Then let me select liabilities. If you try to select other than liabilities, let's say asset, it will give, hey, for assets you have given the group one series, not a two series. As you are trying a two series, you have to have select liabilities. If I select expenses also, it will give error. See, this is error. So we'll go liabilities. Okay, owner's equity. Owner's equity, just go to the control data, INR. I'll give G001 for now. Just save it. Okay, I have two GLs already. Then let me go and post the entry. Entry will be posted in update 02. So I'll give the today's date. SAC, assay document, general ledger document we are posting now in IN90. Period 1 we have selected 1 2022. See the period system has read 10. Why it has read the fee status variant, sorry, the fiscal year variant, whatever we have created, in that we have mentioned January 22 is my period 10. That is the reason system has read. Here posting key 40 is debit. In the entry what I've told, if you invest a capital, cash should be debited, cash account should be debited. For debit we have a posting key 40. Debit, what is my GL account? You just go drop down if you don't remember. For cash I've selected, I've created 1000 GL. See 40 is the debit key. I've selected cash GL account. Enter. How much? 10 lakhs I've told, right? See, for a G001, have put assignment field as a mandatory. That is the reason it has come as a mandatory. Okay, so something we put test. Okay, so as everybody is using a double entry system, debit needs to have a credit balance. Then only system will allow you to post entry. For a credit, we'll use posting key 50 and the GL account. I remember it's a 2000. Still, I'll select from the drop down. Okay, enter. Same value you need to post. Put a star. Here also we'll select a test it. Plus also you can put. Just simulate it. Okay, your debits are matching, credit is matching, and difference is 0. Let us save it. Okay, if at all any other issues, we'll see issues. Otherwise, system will allow you to post. See, there is a error we are seeing down. Let us see what is that. Okay, if you're posting, you check this. We are belongs to this situation. So let us click this. Okay, there is some error. What is the error? No valid combination of company code and ledger check. What is this? Seems leading ledger was not triggered to the company code. Let us see. Okay, still it has. System also became little slow now. Let us post something, some value. Okay. Okay. Save it. See, now the document is posted. What was the issue was? It was not properly filled up here. Nothing was wrong. The leading ledger default will assign to your company code. In sometimes it will not pick. You just have to come to the same configuration here and you just click on save it. That's all. It will be there. However, again you have to double click and save it. Then this will allow. So for a document type essay, we have given a number range starting with 1000 to 1099. The post entry we have posted for a document type essay. See, document type essay, and the cash is debited and the equity is credited. The amount I've changed it. I've considered 10,000 only for now. It's okay if you want to post 10 lakhs. You can use the same way and you can post it. So it means that whatever the configuration we have done, the basic configuration is working fine, and we are able to post a transaction. Just follow these steps and configure. Okay, only the thought process you should have is, why are you defining each and every configuration? What is the reason behind it, and how you get this requirement from a client in real time? Okay, this thought process you should have. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.